Welcome back to part 2 of our journey. Smooth as glass out there. If you haven't seen part 1, you need to go back and watch it. This part is very action-packed where we make our way across the Gulf. My nerves were completely shot throughout this entire journey, just thinking about all the potential things that could go wrong with the boat. So just sit back and enjoy part 2 to see what happens with our hurricane-damaged, neglected trawler. All right, day 4. We stayed on the boat last night and it was absolutely miserable. This one 10K air conditioning I have does not keep up at all. It might as well not even been on. So I'm gonna try to put this other 10K in the back. So a couple things, my toilet quit working. So now we're gonna go back and fix that. The injection pumps on the engines leak a little bit of diesel fuel and it makes the cabin kind of smell of diesel. I think we can still make it home that way, not a problem, but it's just gonna be another miserable thing. I've literally have not slept in like 3 days, so if you could tell. And I'm feeling like I regret my decision on buying this boat, and I think it's mostly because I'm tired and there's just so much to do. It's just like every time I turn around there's something that needs to be fixed on it, something I didn't realize. It's just the way this stuff goes. Let's get some AC going at least, so we're at least comfortable on the boat. Alright, so one thing I found why it might be so hot in here, and it just, this 10K is not keeping up. It's freezing up. To make things a little more clear about the air conditioner units, I brought with me from home 2 10,000 BTU units. One is brand new and has almost 0 runtime on it. The other is a fairly new unit that came on the silver tin when I purchased it. That particular unit is the one I installed and is freezing up. However, there is a 16,000 BTU unit that came with the Marine Trader. It's brand new and never installed, and that's where we're going to put it, in place of the freezing unit. I'm always in a hurry. I completely forgot my camera, so I'm using my cell phone, but we're here at Don's Marine. This place is like the boat junkyard, I don't know, heaven. Brand new windlass. We spent 5 days at Gulfport prepping the boat, working through toilet issues. We are still battling this damn Got my AIS radio, installing electronics, going, NEMA 2000 network, Garmin high-speed bus. This pizza looks eating good amazing. Food, doing laundry, engine maintenance. And we never got the onboard genset to run right. But it's okay, we got the old Predator. It's time to get this show on the water and get across the Gulf. Alright guys, here we are. It is the 4th of July. I think we're on day 8. And I want to call today pretty much done. This is the first time we've been done before it was dark. This is going to be our very last night at Gulfport, Florida, on the docks here in the marina. Tomorrow we plan on running up to Clearwater area, which is about 40 miles from here. We're gonna fill up on fuel, and Sunday we are gonna do the Gulf crossing. I am stressed about the golf crossing, but not as stressed about the boat as I was probably like 5 days ago. Honestly, we done so much work to this boat in like just these 8 days. It's amazing. I'll put a list of everything we fixed right here. I really wish I could have got a lot more footage. There was a lot more drama, a lot more emotion than you'll probably see in the video. I mean, it was stressful, it was happy, it was sad, it was like, really? And really the part that got us the worst was the toilet. Out of everything on this boat, the toilet was the most BS. It ended up really not being anything's fault. It was just the pipe was bad, we weren't using the right toilet paper. In the end, I hate that toilet. I still hate that toilet. It uses so much water. This thing has a 40-gallon black water tank on it. And supposedly it was emptied before those toilets were installed and they were never used. So that means in like, I don't know, maybe 2 days worth of use, we filled it up. Man, they just suck so much water. So in the end, I still hate the toilets, and my wife does too. She hates the toilets in the camper, and these are worse. I hate the vacuum flush toilets, and I wish I had those right now. So anyway, we are gonna relax tonight. Priority number 1 was do the work need to be done, and priority 2 was trying to do any kind of filming, and we barely got to any priority 2. Oh, and to add, the dock that we're on now doesn't have power. I'm pretty upset about that, so we're having to run the old Predator just to keep the air conditioning going and the refrigerator and the batteries charged. Even though this marina sells it, there's no gas, no diesel, and half the docks have electricity. And they made me move from over there to here because there's more boats coming in, and there's yet to get more boats over there. So whatever. We're out of here in the morning. We're out of here about 9 o'clock. We're gonna just cruise on over to Clearwater. So enjoy your 4th of July. We are definitely gonna try to enjoy it. And we will probably talk to you again tomorrow when we actually move the boat. That's when the excitement is gonna begin. All right guys, today is a big day. We are gonna cruise this boat to Madeira Beach Marina and do the refuel, and then go from there to Clearwater. But we got the whole place kind of cleaned up, tidied up. It's Captain Ron. All right, now that you're here, we can get the show on the road.
Oh yeah, on the road.
On the water. All right, we are moving. We are moving. We got her topped off. All right, we made it to beautiful Clearwater, Florida. So here we are in the rain. So my hair's all wet. We had to tie the boat up in the rain. It was pouring down as we backed into the slip. So that's it for today. We made it from Gulfport to Clearwater today. Filled it with diesel. Everything's great. Boat did just fine. Tomorrow is the big day. We're gonna cross the Gulf tomorrow. Leaving you right here. I'm tired. We're gonna go walk and get some food, and we're going to bed because we gotta get up early in the morning. Well, good morning guys. It is like 4 a.m. and I just lost a generator just now. It ran out of fuel. And we're getting ready to do a golf crossing. So I'm gonna fill up the generator. Gotta check everything. And we're gonna try to head out and try to get this done. Okay.
Well, at least I have a solution for you.
All right, we are underway with Captain Athen up there at the helm. He's starting us out this morning. He knows these waters better than I do. Once we're out on the Gulf, we don't have to worry. All right, we're almost officially in the Gulf. Flying into a storm. Not too bad. We got some swells up front. This boat just takes it like a champ. We got some weather on the radar right here we're going through. See how far off the coast we've gone so far? It's a lot of fun. It is. This is actually fun. We are officially at our halfway point, and it is smooth as glass out there. A little over halfway in, we ran into some fueling problems. After checking the fuel levels, I discovered one tank was almost to overflow, while the other one was only about halfway full. I quickly grabbed my fuel transfer pump and started pumping from one tank to the other. After investigating the issue, I discovered there was one valve that was for the return that was turned off. This was causing both engines to return diesel to just the port side tank. I haven't drove as much as the other two. I'm just constantly making my rounds, checking everything, making sure it's good. I'm glad I did, because we had a fuel valve, return valve, that was shut, and it filled the starboard tank completely full, like almost overflowing full. You know, I unscrew the dipstick and it's just coming out. And the port side was probably a little lower than it needed to be, so I found the fuel return valves, and one was shut to the port side, and it was just sending all the fuel this way, or at least that's what I'm assuming is what's happening. So there's really no reason why this tank should be over full. Anyway, we'll keep giving you updates. This is a 15-hour journey across the Gulf. My nerves are completely shot just thinking about things that could possibly go wrong. Scraping the purple window tint off the front windshield was definitely a good way to pass the time. My wife found that driving the boat was a good way to occupy her time. She probably drove about 80% of the way. Well, we have 41 miles to go. Alright, successful trip across the Gulf. Alright, we did it. We did it. We crossed the Gulf. 15 hours at between 10 and 11 miles an hour. We did it. After our incredibly long day going across the Gulf, finally made it to a marina in Carrabelle, Florida called Sea Quarters. If you're ever in the area with your boat, I highly recommend it. The prices are excellent, and it's in walking distance of a grocery store. Good day, everybody. We made it across the Gulf. I tried to do a we made it video yesterday, but the camera died. Today, we didn't really do a whole lot. We just kind of relaxed. the wife has to work, I am just doing little nitpicky things around here that I know that need to happen, like updating our Garmin system, trying to get the active captain to work. It is updating the upstairs one too. Trying to get that stuff to work the way I would like it to work, where I could just use the app on my phone to do the route guidance and just tell us where to go. And that will also work too when I finally get the autopilot installed on it. It will just kind of more or less guide you where you want to go with steering minimally, which was, holy crap, going across the Gulf. You have to be at the helm the whole time. That's what we're doing today, and tomorrow we are gonna come from Carrabelle, where we're at now, to Panama City. So we're gonna go back out in the Gulf and do that route right there. This next leg of the journey, we head back out into the Gulf. Just me and the wife and nobody else. So next time on part 3, we make it all the way across the Panhandle to our temporary stopping point. Into Alabama. And we're at Lulu's. Get ourselves into, I bought a used crane off a old crappy boat over here.